All right, today I'm going to do something I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and that's speed running or routing a game. If you're not familiar, this game is called Electric Fairyland. It came out sometime last year in 2024. It is a 3D platformer with a sort of low poly aesthetic, something that kind of would have released early PlayStation 1 era or even on Sega Saturn. It kind of reminded me, tonally at least, of a game called Stall. It was on Sega Saturn. It was a 2D platformer, kind of had like this sort of fantastical, magical sort of setting, and this game sort of taps into that as well. It's a totally different kind of game than Stall was, but that's the sort of game that it reminded me of when I first started playing it. I finished this earlier this year. I 100%ed it, got everything, and collected everything, but there is one achievement for speedrunning the game and completing it under 20 minutes, which is pretty ridiculous, but it is a short game. I think my 100% playthrough was 2 to 3 hours, so I did spend a lot of time kind of beating my head against the wall trying to find everything. But the game comes from two developers. I believe it's two people who worked on this game, maybe among a few others. And it totally slipped under the radar. I didn't even know about it till this year when I was kind of looking around, searching for games I may have missed that sort of, spoke to me. And I love 3D platformers, so this is like a collect-a-thon through and through. There's no combat. You literally go from each screen or each level, you could say, are just like these square boxes, and there's teleporters that take you from like screen to screen. And it's very point A to point B, but you do need to collect a few things to beat it, I believe. So routing and speedrunning this is probably pretty interesting and pretty tight considering the 20-minute time limit. Another thing this game sort of reminded me of is the type of experience you might have had, at least for me, growing up, going to your aunts and uncle's house or your cousins, and maybe your Game Boy ran out of batteries and you didn't pack it for the road trip. When you got in the car and your parents are driving you to your relative's house, and you got nothing to do. They don't really have any video game systems hooked up to their TV, but they do have a desktop PC. And on their PC, maybe this is like late 90s, early 2000s maybe, but more like mid to late 90s if that family had a desktop PC. You might kind of poke around and find some weird game installed that you've never heard of, you've never seen before, and you play it because there's nothing else to do at your cousin's house, and you kind of become obsessed with it, and then you pack things up, and you get in the car, you go back home, and you never think about it ever again. And not until like 15 to 20 years later, you're like, what was that game I played at my aunt's house? Like, what the fuck was that? And you just have like the best memory of it because it's just like the type of game you never would have experienced on your own. That's what this game reminds me of. It reminds me of like a type of game you would sort of like happen upon visiting your cousin's house, and you'd play it on their PC, and they'd know like everything about it, but it's such a mystery to you. And then time goes on and you just completely forget about it. You never buy it for yourself. Your parents never buy it for you. I don't know if that's the best endorsement for this game, but it brought back a memory I sort of had growing up where it was at someone's house. It could have been a friend's house that lived further away from us. And we went to a friend of theirs house, and they had some weirdo game on a PC that I'd never played before. And I couldn't even tell you what it looked like today, so that's why I'm sharing that now. So the first thing I need to do is actually load up my completed save file, and I need to look at the map, and I'm actually going to use a notebook to sort of draw the map and route which rooms I need to go through to get to the end game. So we're going to start with that. I also can't get over the music in this game. The soundtrack's incredible. I especially really like this music. This is the last sort of zone in the game. It's like this water lily pad lake. Listen to the music for a little bit. Okay, so let's look at the, if I remember how to bring it up, the map. All right, so this is the completed map of the entire game. The little stars twirling around on each square of the grid just means I collected and finished that area. This game has little sort of fairy people to collect. There are marbles that are totally optional. They're really well hidden. And then there's just stars, like these glittering stars that are scattered in each level, or each screen rather. And those are kind of easy to collect, but some of them are weird and they kind of glitch out and you got to go in and out of rooms for them to appear properly. You can't miss any of them. But the stars are required to access certain screens. So that's going to be another routing issue. Just collecting just enough amount to get to the end of the level here. The one thing I'm not sure about, and I haven't researched it enough, I don't know who even played this game. I feel like there's so little info online. There's very few YouTube videos on it. The forum, or the Steam forum, is kind of a desert. The Discord is, it has its fans in there, and the developers are in there, and they actually helped me. I think the main creator gave me a hint to unlock one of the achievements, one of the Steam achievements that's kind of weird to get. It's sort of like a, you need to go out of the game and look online to kind of figure it out, which I'm not super big fan of, but I figured it out finally just from the hint that I was given. But the rest of the game is everything else in the game you can do in the game and collect everything and do on your own. But so collecting the stars, just the right amount of stars to gain access to the last screen here is what's going to be hard. And then these fairies, this is the last screen of the game. This is where you finish it. These fairies bring down this barrier that's here, which gives you access to this little object in the background that sort of transported your character here in the intro. I don't know if I'm assuming you need to get the fairies as well, which is also going to make it tricky because they're not hard to find, but some of them are suspended in air and they're a little tricky to get. And I just don't know if I skipped any of them, would I get to the screen and my run would be ruined because I didn't collect all of them. So between the fairies and the stars, I got to figure out just enough. I'm probably going to force myself to get the fairies, but the stars are going to be a lot more difficult. So the first thing I got to do is sort of work my way back to the very first screen, and I'm going to draw this grid on a notepad. I'll switch to my cam and show the notepad drawing that I make. But from there, we'll get started. All right, so let's get out of here. Probably going to get lost, make my way back to the starting position. So yeah, just to touch on the controls and what you can do in this game. If you hold down the X button, I'm using a PlayStation 5 controller to play this, you'll start dashing and running around. You can kind of dash into jumps to give you some extra height. Always jump before you reach the end of a ledge, though, because you'll kind of just drop to the ground if you don't jump quick enough. It's a little finicky. All right, where are we? I am definitely going to get lost. So you can see there are these portals. If you see the red sort of fields around the portals, the red means that's the room you previously came from, so you don't want to go into that. Yellow means you've been there, or it's like a different direction you haven't gone in. I believe they're white if you haven't been through them yet, but I could be misremembering that. Oh my god. I haven't played this in about a month or so. But you jump with circle, and if you hold jump, you float. There are a lot of things to bounce on. One thing I did not understand or figure out right away is that by bouncing, or when you land on a bouncy item or bouncy object from a really high height, you bounce really high. So there are a few marbles and collectibles where you need to... Oh my god, I just made a circle. See, this is why this is bad. I just went in a circle. Um, Secret Island, I don't want to be here either. But this part of the video is going to be just like figuring out how to get back to the beginning, which is not making me feel too confident about the actual speedrun. Alright, so I gotta look for a room that has like 3 exits, because this place kind of goes in a circle. So I have to go in a portal that's not the one I went through last time if there's 3 exits. Is there another exit here? Okay. Where are we? The problem is the portals and the map in the menu don't really show where the portals are going direction-wise, so I'm gonna have to take really specific notes. Oh, and I ended up back here. What is going on here? Oh boy, this is rough. Is it this screen that I missed? So there's a portal over there. I don't see a third one though. That's what I gotta find. That's what's causing me to wrap around like this. It's gonna feel so good when I get to this part of the game and I'm like sub 20 minutes though. Alright, so there's not a portal there. There's just another portal here. Okay, this is where I was... Oh, okay. I think I was doing it wrong the last time. I gotta go through this big door. This is gonna take me back to the previous zone. So we're exiting the lake here. Okay, so I'm making some progress. Jesus Christ. This track's good too. Whoever the composer is, this is one developer to keep an eye on. I need to check out, I think there's 1 or 2 other games they worked on, and they have a new game coming out. I believe it's the same developer called Surf Club, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna, for sure, continue to check out this developer's games. I do hope their next game is still pretty like platformy and like sort of collectathon adjacent, because that's like my favorite type of game still. Like any kind of 3D platformer, I'm there like instantly. And I hope they kind of have the same composer working on their next project. Alright. We want to get to that bottom right, that first bottom right node on the map. So these are, I'm just working my way backwards until I get to a room that has, the rooms that have 3 portals, exits are what's tricky. This is one of them. Oh, no, but I want to go through here. This is going to take me out of here. Now we're going back to, I think it's a forest? Yeah, forest end. Ooh, we're, I think it's this one. Maybe this won't be too bad. No, I have a feeling this is going to be really tough. Unless you have like a really, really good sort of memory. Alright, is this going to be the starting, beginning area? Yeah, first steps. First steps into the first screen. Alright, so let's bring up the map, and I'm going to start drawing this. to the best of my ability. And I'll switch over the cam in a second to show my completed masterpiece. So what is this? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Is it a 6x6 grid? 3, yeah, 6x6. All right, do I want to draw this on a... I mean, it's kind of on an angle as well. It's not like a perfect... It's like a... There's some sort of rotation on the square, the larger square here. And I don't really understand why there's like empty grids. I thought each square was going to be filled in, but clearly there are empty spots. They're all empty until you reveal them. So there's kind of like a design here. And I don't know if there was like intention to make more screens or if that's just like the sort of framework of the map that they created. Let's start drawing this. So I'm gonna do boxes, I guess, like square boxes. Okay, so there's 3, 4, 5 on that bottom row, and then from the third, there's 3, it looks like. Just bear with me as I draw this. I'll try to have some sort of commentary, but... Alright, so I'm just numbering them for my sake. Okay, so there are 22 screens, or 22 rooms, and... Make sure I got this right. Let me switch over to the camera just to showcase and describe like what I was doing. All right, so this is what I have map-wise. You can see on the bottom is 1 through 5, and then the next row is 6 through 9, and then... Oh no, I think I did it wrong. See, I already messed it up. I'm off a number. It should be 10 through 12. I'm off by 1 starting at... I have 2 9s on this map, so I'm gonna have to redo this as well, which is really funny. But the idea is I'm gonna make notes of saying like 1 through 3 is obviously the path you go, then it sort of splits. So I need to do 1 through 3, then probably go to 6. You can see there, I should make these squares a little bit bigger. But as I mentioned, I tried to kind of recreate the grid map screen from the game, and I numbered each square just so when I play through it and make my speedrun attempt, I can say, okay, you have to go to 1 to 3, but then maybe you do have to go to 4 and 5 on that first bottom row to collect some fairies or stars to gain access to 6. Now, there are some optional squares here, so kind of filtering those out is what's gonna save me some time, but I should probably redo this map again. So hang tight. Okay, so I'm gonna start my new file. And probably we'll take notes along the way, and I can't imagine this is going to be the run, so I'll probably end up deleting this save file after I sort of learn the ins and outs of this playthrough. Skip the cutscenes because I don't know if the timer's still going. Okay, got the controls, I know how to play. Here's our first fairy. Okay, so there's the stars. I got enough to open this door. Here's the thing though, I don't know if I'm gonna need like all of them or not. Let's just kind of keep running through. I do wonder if the time, there's another fairy, is paused when you go into your menu. That'd be nice, but I don't know. Now I need to collect the clovers as well. These are these red clovers that are scattered in the environment. Those are required for... Not need that marble, that was a waste of time. The clovers are required, I think, to access the other zones or areas in the game. Go over there. So I need 150 to go there. But that's the thing, I don't remember if that is... no, that is the way through, so I need 150 to get to the next zone. The children... Let's keep going. Clover on this stage. Make a note of that. So there's a clover on 5. So I put a C on my map. I should have been doing that before. So this is a clover on 9. And 9, you get from 5. Okay. So to get to the square that I marked as 9, you have to have enough stars to go to 5. So this is already a little trickier than I was expecting. And there's a clover here, so this was on 4. I still don't have enough. I need 150. It seems like you have to collect nearly like everything. Even gain access to the next set of levels. Yeah, we got 125. Damn. Okay, so my theory of not having to collect every star might be out of the gate already, because it seems like you need to collect a good deal of them. Alright, well, I've definitely wasted a lot of time. This clearly wasn't going to be my speedrun attempt. Or the sub 20 attempt. But I don't have the stars here. I just would be really surprised if you have to collect, like, nearly everything. I'm gonna quit out and kind of see where, once I do like a casual sort of run of this space. Okay, so this took me here. A lot of stars in Gnome Home, which is, I think, level 8 on my map that I made. There's a marble here that's really, really tricky. Alright, I got enough. Get the fuck out of here. Alright, so where was this, though? So 5 also went to 8. Eight had a clover. 4, 5, 6. I'm still missing a clover somewhere. Which might be in the... the new teleporter I unlocked here. I think the clover should be here. Yep. Okay. So this unlocked the gate to the next world. Let's see how much time this took. Let's try to get some of these. That's the thing, like... And there is, I'm gonna take a note of this now. There is a fairy. This is level 6. There was a clover and a fairy here. And I'm gonna write 150 S to World 2. Where's the fucking gate? Oh, here it is. And 6 takes you to 12. Alright, let's quit. Let's see how much time I got. Damn, that was about 7 minutes. Like, it's sub 20, so the getting just to the first world, or through the first world into the second zone, that forest area. Whew. Oh, clearly I can cut down my time there, but god damn, this is no joke. All right, so I'm gonna try to cut down on time and to see if I can get maybe below like 5 minutes, hopefully, on the second time around. Or maybe I should just keep going with this playthrough to kind of route the rest of the areas. But the tricky thing is kind of deciding which stars to collect. Some rooms have fewer stars than others, and then some stars are easier to collect than others. Like anything where you have to jump on a like a flying ladybug, or if they're kind of like positioned in platforms that are out of reach, that takes a little bit more time than stars that are just kind of like on the ground. So that's one thing to take into consideration. I need to make notes of the fairies. I made a note of the clovers. I think I missed a clover on. There's also like a stage 0, which isn't on the map, and there was a fairy there. So I'm just gonna add that to my notebook. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I was missing 2 clovers I didn't make a note of. But I also wrote which screens or square blocks lead to where, or like which number connects to the next number. In terms of at least how I drew out my map here, and I numbered each screen in the game. So we'll try attempt number 2 and learn a little bit more about this. Feeling a lot more intimidated by it than I was initially. All right, so I'm just gonna keep going with my current playthrough here. Take a few more notes. So we are in. This is node 12. Okay, let's see what we have here. Alright, there's a fairy here. I don't see a clover. Could have missed it, but who knows. Let's put this down a fairy. I'm only going to make notes of the door requirements I come across that I don't have for the first time. Right, so we are in 11. 11 has a clover. I'm assuming this is 10. Oh no. We are in... $14. Okay. 250 in World 2. $14 clover. Now we are in 10. A lot of stars in 10, it looks like. There's a fairy in 10. Nearly have 250. And there is a clover over here. Okay, I do have my 250. $14 goes to... $14 goes to 30. $13 is a fairy. Looks like there is a clover here as well. I'm missing 3 clovers. Now, is this a dead end room? Yeah, it looks like it. But you need to go here to get the clover. So this is back in 14. Right? Yes. Where I came from, so this should take me to... We're back in 11. Was there not another exit? Oh, there is. 275. You need 275 of shit in 12. Okay, so this is where I need to get more. I just need 4 more. So you kind of have to work your way back, forward and back in World 2. Oof. I don't know if there's 4 exactly here. Of course there wasn't. So to not retrace steps, I need to kind of collect a bunch of shit until I have 275. Come on, last glitter. Well, takes you to... $215. Probably a bunch of stuff in here. Gotta be a clover in here. There we go. So I need 2 more clovers. Hopefully they are in these next few areas. Here's 1. Do not see a fairy. There's a requirement here. 300, okay. Four more. Checking to make sure there isn't a fairy here. Let's keep going. Okay, we are in 16 now, which had a clover and a 300. Requirement. I'm missing a clover. Is it not in this level? Oh, there it is. Oh, and there's a... This is 17. There is a clover and a fairy, and that's going to take us to the water zone. That's my favorite music. If I can just... I think I got the little fairy creature here, right? Can't believe we're here already. Okay, so let's turn the title. See where our time's at. I have a feeling I'm above 20. Yeah, 14. Wow, we could maybe do this. I'll try my best. But we're gonna take a short little breather and then we'll come back to this. Alright, let's see if we can figure out this last world really quickly under 6 minutes. Alright, what's the requirement here? $4.99. Not good. There's a fairy there. 370. Alright, so I might have to spend a little bit more time in the previous levels if I can't figure this out. There's a Clover. What level are we in now? This is 19. Clover. Before that, we were in 20, which had a fairy. This room also has a fairy. Oh, there's all sorts of requirements here. This is not good. So this run wasn't gonna happen regardless, just because I skipped a lot of stars in the previous levels. What level is this again? I think there was a fairy here that I got. What was this? This was 20. Also had a Clover, and I just found it now. Yeah, I don't even have enough for the first gate, so I gotta go back. I just wonder, I think the $4.99's for the secret room, which I'm not concerned about. Again, we just want to beat it. So this is where this is gonna get really frustrating. So hopefully there's enough kind of elsewhere here. To get to my 370 requirement. There should be. So now we've got 50. Let's just not fall in the water. Where's this gonna take us? Was not making note of where these teleporters were taking me, but at this point... Alright, this is room 21. There's a fairy. Oh no, I see another requirement here. That's not good. 355, okay. Shit. I should be able to get that. Hopefully here. Or this was 21 again. Don't I have enough for this? Oh, 360. Oh my god. Oh no. This is a disaster. I don't have it. What do I... Or do I... I don't understand. How many do I have? No, I have 360 now. Didn't this unlock? Oh no, 390. Oh no. I was reading that wrong. Okay. So you need a lot. You needed way more at this point to even finish this. Oh, I had my hopes up that I was able to do this in one shot just by like learning it. I thought it was going to be a little bit more lenient than I was expecting, but we gotta you need at least 390, I think, by the time you kind of get through this lily pad zone, which is a little bit of a bummer. It seems like there's a bunch of fairy dust up here. Unless I got all these for the most part. $390, but damn it. I have 370, which is enough to unlock one of those other doors, but could probably get a little bit more because it's probably not going to be about 20 in the final level, just so I don't have to. Retrace my steps too much. Okay, let's try. Let's try again. I think this was the room that... Yeah, it's a new room. This is 22. There's a fairy in here. Is there a clover here? Yes. This is the one up, so this is 23. I got enough for that portal, which doesn't really matter right now. I think it's just gonna wrap me back around to... Do I have 390? I do have 390. Okay, but I gotta make sure there's not another clover here. Did I already get one? I'm missing 2 clovers. By the way, if you bounce on this car enough, a marble is hidden there. Do that, but just a little pro tip. Clover there. And this is room 24, which also has a clover. Oh, are there 2 clovers here? I think this is it. Damn, I'm probably just a few minutes off too, which is really frustrating. And I think that's all the fairies. No, missing a fairy, no! So you can't beat it with, ah, no! You need to collect all the fairies to beat the game. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. Is there one here that I missed maybe? I gotta luck out. Oh, there he is! No, he was right there! No! Okay, so I wasn't too bad. Let's watch this cool ending again. So I was right. I figured you'd need all the fairies to collect everything. Or sorry, you need all the fairies to beat the game. And look, she's decides to stay. All right, we finished it. I bet it's probably like 25 minutes, I'm guessing. 25 to 30 is. I spent sort of doubling back to get a few extra stars. So the stars are the linchpin in these runs. You kind of can't skip too many of them, so you don't backtrack and waste time. That's going to be something I have to take into consideration for my next attempt. I can see myself doing this in maybe 1 or 2 more attempts. It's a little difficult, but not too much. I think I don't even know if I could follow my notes or if this would be helpful for anyone who's playing this, but I think taking notes is definitely the way to go here if you're trying to do this on your own. All right, let's see our time. 4 minutes. Damn. Took me 24 minutes and 7 seconds. Oof. So yeah, you need about 400 of the 501 stars to do this. Like that's rough. And all 13 of the fairies. So I'm gonna erase this file and try it again. Alright, so let's give this another shot. Serious mode. Quiet time. Alright, so level 2, this is what I didn't make a note of before, has a fairy and a clover. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how many of these stars I should be collecting and which ones I should skip. I need 150 to get to the second world. I gotta remember that. The 3 also had a clover, which I didn't make a note of last time, even if I waste a second or two. I'll probably quit out at each world break just to give myself like a bit of a breather. Level 4, which I did note. Oh, I only put down as a clover here, but it also had a fairy. Okay, so I think my notes are complete now. A lot of goodies here. There's that unlock that door. Which I think I had to go here anyway to get something else. $200 there. I didn't make a note of that one, so I don't need that. Do I have right now? I have 140. I think this is the one I had to go into. Okay. Get this clover. I gotta jump on this beetle. This is 5. This is a good level for star pickups. Got my key. I mean, this is probably faster than my first time. We'll check though. That's the first world down. Why did I go? Oh my god, I just wasted like a few seconds. That's correct. I'm off by like, if I'm at like 2002, I'm gonna explode. Okay, let's return to title screen. Let's keep at it. So we're gonna have to come back here later. This was the 275 requirement. I gotta make sure I'm not skipping too much. Ooh, this is like serious focus mode. I can't like breathe to something like this. Be a fairy here as well. I should just run straight across when I come back this way and not go to the other gate. Tomato Town, this is 13, so there's just a fairy here. Still missing a lot of clovers. Oh, there was one here, I didn't make a note of it, which is bad. Get a few more stars. This is a really interesting speedrun. Okay, so we're going back to the first area, which is right here. Hopefully I did not skip a clover. I have a bad feeling I did for some reason. I know there's one in here. Oh no, I think I'm okay. Again, just a little bit more time. I could have gotten this a little bit more efficiently. Okay, let's pause and exit, just look at our time. I think I was at 14 minutes last time, but again, I had to backtrack to get some stars the last time I did this. Not feeling too great still, though. Okay, no, I've got some time to spare. I don't know if I'll need to backtrack, but I need to get 400 still. So I need 350 for the next, 350, 370, and I think 390, so whew, we'll see. Alright, let's give this a go. I don't have a good feeling. I feel like I'm missing like a few stars behind. This is gonna be locked over here for a little bit. The 370. There's a Clover here, apparently. Okay, so I do have my 70 to access the next area. Let's head back and go the opposite direction. Feeling like kind of okay. I don't know. I'm not trying to rush it, but you can't like back your save file up either. I must have 390 though. What map is this? So there should be a Clover here as well. Yeah, I already got it. Let me get the fuck out of here. I may have done this. I don't know. There's the baby or the fairies to the right of me over here. Let's see if it pops. It might not pop till the end as well. Whew. I'm gonna say like 14, 15 minutes I logged. I really hope cutscene time doesn't get taken into consideration. That'd be pretty messed up. Got it. Woo! Oh my god. I didn't think I'd do it on the first day that I attempted all of this. So it's not too bad. Again, it's not something you'll ever do on your first playthrough. If you have good memory, it's not a super big game or a long game, clearly, but there are a few things you need to take into consideration, at least in terms of what to skip and what to collect. I think collecting more stars sort of out of the gate or as you go through the levels and screens for the first time is the way to go, so you don't have to backtrack to previous rooms if you don't have to. Kind of knowing, I didn't really look at my notes too much because I didn't want to waste too much time in terms of where the fairies and clovers are, because they are required to beat the game in order to get the sub 20-minute achievement. But I did for each level make note of it, and I did pause occasionally just to look down to make sure I was in the correct box with the number that I assigned to it, and if I wrote a C and an F next to the number, meaning there's a fairy or a clover in that room, and that sort of helped me, at least in the very split second, be like, okay, did I get the clover here? If I didn't pick one up or remember picking one up, I didn't check anything off as I was doing it, so I was kind of like going by muscle memory and sort of trusting my instinct that I was collecting everything. Also knowing that there's 13 fairies altogether, that's required to unlock the barrier to finish the game. The stars, the max amount of stars that you need to beat the, it's either 370 or 390. I think that last lake area is sort of a circle. So like you can go, if you go left or right from the starting position of that spot, I think it eventually wraps around from the other end, but one of those ends requires, I could be wrong if I wasn't paying attention close enough, but I think 390 of these stars are the glitter stars, whereas one direction only requires 370. I may have been not judging that correctly at the moment, but you at least want like a little over 300 before entering that that last sort of lake lily pad zone. But so like if you're mindful of the stars that you're collecting towards the beginning of the game in the first few screens of the first world or two, and you are making note of where the clovers are, I really can't recommend making your own map and your own grid enough to do this. It's actually really fun. I haven't done like a pen and paper sort of thing like this, and I haven't routed a game on my own. I'm sure I could even increase and do get an even better time than I did. Let's actually check out. I don't even know how long that took. Okay, so 16 minutes. So I did it in 16 minutes and 10 seconds. I'm not sure how accurate the in-game clock is. Who knows what my true time was, but according to the game clock, it is 16:10. So I had some room for error there as well. Like I probably could have backtracked to a zone or two maybe to collect a few more of the stars if I had to. But as long as you're not wasting time going back and forth between rooms to get stars to unlock some of those flower portals that are required to progress, you should be pretty good. Alright, so editor's note, I actually ran through the game a third or fourth time at this point, and originally I was sort of taking notes on which level led to which level. So as you saw as I was playing, there are little petal portals that take you from screen to screen or level to level. I was sort of keeping track of which portal led to where, but as you're kind of speedrunning it, you just kind of collect more stars than you are aware of. So I didn't quite capture all of the individual door or petal portal requirements to get from level to level. So it ranges actually from 10 stars all the way to about 499 for the secret area, which is not required to do the speedrun. So again, this video was mainly focused on the speedrun achievement, which is under 20 minutes. So you do not need to collect every star unless you wanted to do like a 100% speedrun particularly, but I was just going for the Steam achievement itself. So you could ignore that requirement here. I'm just going to linger on this picture, this notepad where I drew and wrote down where each level led to where. So in case anyone in the future, if this Earth is still around here at this point, you'll have these little handy notes, which are hopefully helpful. But so just to kind of explain how I did this, you technically start in level 0, so it's like the starting intro prologue level, and the arrow's pointing to 1, so 0 goes to 1. 1 goes to 2, but the star requirements are 10. So you need to collect 10 stars in that first level to gain access to level 2. 2 goes to 3, and again, there's 20 stars required. And that kind of works all the way down. Again, there are 25 levels. And these numbers, the way the levels are sort of how I wrote them out, is based on the map you saw earlier. So again, this is a map that I drew based on the in-game map, and the levels go from 1 to 25. I kind of drew the map as it was presented in the game, but from kind of bottom right to left. I did one through, or I started from the bottom right and then worked my way to the left and kind of upwards. So that bottom row, as you can see, was 1 through 5, and then 6 through 9, 10 through 12, 13 through 17, 18 through 20, and then 21 through 25. So if you kind of take the map that I drew, and if you draw it for yourself, and then look at this map in terms of, if you even need to look at this, it's not really that hard to get this achievement, to be honest, but I just wanted to kind of showcase and sort of route very specifically what you need to get to which level. So if you're using the map on the previous page that I showed, in addition to this, hopefully this is helpful for someone. Like I said, I kind of enjoyed doing this on my own because I've never done something like this for a very long time. I haven't routed or tried to speed run a game for years at this point, so kind of an odd pick for me to choose this game, but I liked it enough that, and there's so little info on it, that I kind of wanted to pick a game that just isn't sort of torn apart. You know, everyone's speed ran Ocarina of Time and like Super Metroid and all the kind of classics and the usual, so I wanted to pick like sort of an offbeat path sort of title. So I took it to town. The X's and circles that you can see, those are dead ends, so 7 doesn't go anywhere. But you can see level 8, to get to 7, you need 200 stars. So for the speedrun purposes, you actually don't need to go to level 7, according to my map again. If we could look back on the notes that I wrote, level 7 has no clovers or fairies, so it's a completely optional. There might have been a marble in there, but I'm not tracking marbles in this guide. So again, I'll just like kind of hover on this page just so people, if they want to screenshot it or do whatever. Okay. I did start to do this to my second playthrough, second or third. The attempt that I actually did finish, I kind of made some notes similar to the page I was just showing, where you need 150 stars to access World 2. You need somewhere between 370 and 390 to beat the game. It's because the last world sort of branches in 2 different paths. You can see I wrote the star requirements for every level that had a portal that was locked, or a teleporter that was locked, so it gets kind of like messy, a little confusing. I had to correct myself and write over some of my numbers towards the middle end part of the game, because there's a lot of portals that kind of jump all around, at least in terms of how my map is. And you can see here, I almost was going to make a 24 is coming after 25, which doesn't make any sense. There are multiple exits in certain screens, so that's why you kind of see the same number written more than once. But you do need at least all the clovers in World 3, plus the 13 fairies, and I think somewhere between, like I wrote, 370 and 390 stars. So I think if you get 370, you're good by the kind of the middle end of the third world. Alright, so hopefully that was helpful, and we'll get back to the video. Okay, so that's Electric Fairyland. It came out last year, I forget which month, but totally under the radar, as niche as you get, as indie as you get. Again, it's mainly developed by 2 people. Let's look at the credits again, just to give them credit where credit's due. Andy and Olivia, and I'm not sure if that's their pets or not, maybe? Wham and Nini? Dinko, I believe, is the publisher. The music was composed by Barch Boy. But yeah, it's a really fun, really cute, kind of simple 3D platformer with no combat, like really good, cool vibes, like very evocative of the PlayStation 1, like Sega Saturn era. It's got that low poly 3D look. Every screen is simply like a square room with stars to collect and little fairy children to collect, and clovers, 2 of which are required or 3 even, I guess, because the stars are required to access certain levels. But there are optional marbles, which I didn't really show in this video, or there are a few that are pretty hard to get. So if you see like a really unusual object in the environment, sort of interact with it, jump on it. Jumping on everything in this game is kind of like the key to unlocking certain secrets. So again, because there's very few controls, you can jump, you can dash, you can float for a little bit by holding circle, and that's the entire game. So I'm gonna keep my eye out on this developer. I can't wait to see what their next game's like, and hopefully they'll stick around. They do well enough with their little projects to keep making more games. So until next time, bye forever.